Every day could be an adventure.
Hi everyone, Vegas Film Critic here, Jeff Ricky Howard, here to review the new live-action version of Lady and the Tramp, streaming exclusively on Disney Plus service. This is it. Disney streaming is here. The mega entertainment giant has jumped into the streaming service, offering all new kinds of original movies, TV shows, specials, and the big feather in their hat on their launch is Lady and the Tramp. Now this is shot in photorealism, so if you saw Lion King a few months ago, you pretty much expect what's going to happen here. The dogs look like they're really talking. So unlike, Lion King, at the first few minutes you were kind of like, this is really weird, it just really messes with your senses. It really does. You think these animals are really talking. This is one of my all-time favorite Disney animated films, not so much for the story, but more for the great jazz music. I was introduced to jazz at an early age through Peggy Lee, who is one of my all-time favorite singers, jazz singers, and she wrote the score for Lady and the Tramp. She wrote La La Lu, the lullaby. She wrote the Siamese Cat song, Bella Notte, all of those things. And they were just priceless songs to me growing up. So I was really excited to see what Disney was going to do with this live action version. Set at the turn of the century, of the 20th century, the first thing I noticed, and I'm going to tread lightly here, is that the original Disney film, the original Lady and the Tramp, was just filled with racism, with stereotypes and racism. It was the times, it was the 1950s, there wasn't politically correct stuff. So I was really curious to see what Disney was going to do. I knew they were going to get rid of the Chinese, the Siamese Cat song. I knew that. Yes, that was very racist. But they still have cats in it, and they redid a whole new song, but it's neutral. There's nothing offensive about it. But the first thing I noticed right away is Jim and Darling Deer, the couple that get the puppy for Lady, they were a mixed race. So I thought that was pretty progressive. And as the movie continued, there was color blindness everywhere. Now, I'm not complaining about that. It's just that it was kind of like overkill. And I guess that's maybe for older people like me, or for people who know history and know that at the turn of the century, especially in New York or London or wherever, there wasn't the kind of the mixing that was going on right there. It was not popular. Is that the right word? So right away, I knew Disney put this in the PC centrifuge and spun it around. I'm not saying they should be racist. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But it's really kind of front and center in Lady and the Tramp. So at times, Lady and the Tramp felt like a Hallmark movie. Does that make sense? Just felt like a movie of the week. And the animation, I was a lot happier with this than I was with Lion King. Lion King, I know, made a boatload of money. But Lady and the Tramp, for some reason, it didn't bother me as much as Lion King. And I was really excited to see what they were going to do with these songs that I've come to love my whole life. And the first one up, of course, is Bella Notte, one of my all-time favorite songs, nominated for the Academy Award back in 1955. And this time we have the great F. Murray Abraham, one of my all-time favorite actors, playing Tony, which is kind of weird because Disney kind of eliminated stereotypes and color blindness throughout this, but they didn't seem to care when it came to Italian. So I thought that was kind of a bizarre. But it's, Tony's place, and he's Italian. I'm Italian, so who cares? I loved it. And to see the F. Murray Abraham come out and singing, "This is the night, it's a beautiful night," I was dying. He was so funny. He was so charming. And that classic scene with the meatball and the spaghetti kiss, right on target. Then, of course, we get later on when Lady gets captured by the dog catcher, and we get inside the doghouse, inside the pound, and we hear the great jazz song, "He's a Tramp," and we have this little Pekingese that was doing the little Peggy Lee, she provided the voice for it. "He's a tramp. He's a good one." Oh man, I've been singing this all day. So that whole scene was cracking me up. The bulldog is done by Benedict Wong. Some of the voices are just classic in this live action remake. So I thought Lady and the Tramp, the two main characters, I thought they didn't have much personality. I wanted Tramp, he was voiced by Justin Theroux. I wanted more of a scamp. I wanted someone with a little more energy, someone who was more of a rebel. And he just kind of really played it safe. It was just kind of laid there. So the chemistry between Lady and the Tramp, I just wasn't excited about that. I was more exciting when we found out the different characters in the dog pound or the rat sequence at the end when it's trying to attack the baby. It was pretty cool. But overall, this is for little kids. It really is. So just sometimes the adults might become kind of amused by it. I love the music in it. The very opening, it's got the whole Christmas kind of setting to it, and just some of the great songs from Lady and the Tramp. So Disney is in the right direction with Lady and the Tramp when it comes to families, and kids will eat it up. Seeing the dogs talk, they will go crazy for it. A little kind of creepy still. I'm not used to it, but the kids are going to love it. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeff Ricky Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.